Well, hello there. Today is Wednesday, September 14th. This is the Strat Chat podcast. And we're here to discuss the season finale of the Challenge USA. How did this already happen? The season finale somehow already here. Yeah, I'm excited. Are you excited?
Yeah, I'm really excited.
All right. Hello again. Once again, this is the Strat Chat podcast. My name is John Dunphy. I'm joined by my two very best friends, Kyle Petty and Gina Morgino. If you want to find us on the socials, you can do so at Strat Chat Pod. That's on Twitter and on Instagram. You can also check out our website, which is www.stratchatpod.com. And that's the socials. So
right, and if not by tonight, then by tomorrow. It said it could take up to 48 hours.
Well, if you do www.stratchatpod.com right now, it brings us to the page, but the URL does still say BB Jury Duty. Yeah, but
okay, we're working.
It works, but it's a little. Right. It's still things are still processing. You know.
Yeah,
so.
we're working.
Our
around the clock.
Not to say this on air, but our Twitter does also still link to bbjuryduty.com, so we have to.
Right, because the actual domain didn't switch.
Got it.
I purposely
okay,
left
understood.
it right because that does still work. Okay, we're working around the clock.
We had to change our name. I'm sorry. We got yelled at.
We got yelled at.
We're admonished.
But all right, so I mean, we're here to talk about a season finale tonight. Before we get to the final, though, we do still have to go through, sort of a standard sort of episode, right? A daily challenge and elimination and all that. So, we started out this. We had our 5 guys already set. Our final 5 for the men were already set, which is Danny, Dominic, Tyson, Enzo, and Ben. But we did have 6 women still in the house, so we had to figure out what was going on with them. And they got a little bit of a surprise. They got woken up in the middle of the night, right? In the middle of the night, we had a challenge. I thought it was interesting that they had sort of like a horror-themed daily challenge in the same week that we had sort of like a horror-themed HOH on BB24. I still see some symmetry there. You can see CBS is really...
A coincidence? Really, I think not.
Yeah, CBS is really, really trying this cross-promotion thing.
They sure are.
So this was an interesting chat. What did you guys think of this daily challenge? Did you like this?
I did. Yeah. I mean, I didn't really have any strong feelings for or against. It was a good challenge, but
yeah.
I actually have no feelings regarding this. I didn't get into the car until about 9:10. I was racing down the road, and this is what I was watching as I was driving, so I wasn't really watching it. Something about pink tires and red tires, and, something about tires and puzzles.
It wasn't anything super exciting. It was fine, but I didn't dislike it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I couldn't say I saw much of it.
If you didn't see much, well, let me break it down for you a little bit. So, the challenge itself was called Getting Tired. Getting Tired.
Fun. We love a pun.
Yeah, right? Because they were getting tired while getting tires. So basically, they had to jump into a lake. They had to swim 500 meters. It was very dark out. And they had to swim to the other side of this little lake or whatever it was to go into this abandoned town, which apparently was some sort of abandoned military complex. And there were all sorts of spooky things around, but amongst all those spooky things, there were tires and tokens that had all sorts of different point totals. And depending on how many points each tire or token was worth, there were different puzzles and different tasks they had to complete, and the difficulty level obviously corresponded with how many points you could get for each tire or token.
Jeez, sounds like a lot.
It's very
It was a
involved.
lot.
Very involved.
sounds like a lot.
There were only 2 tires like amongst this whole mess that were worth like 20 points, and then there were tires worth 10 points, some worth 5, some worth 3. I don't actually remember how many points the tokens were worth, but yeah, you can only take one item at a time, and you had to actually run a kilometer. Once you got your tire or your token, you had to run a full kilometer so that you could cash in the points and like throw them over your own pole or whatever, so you can keep track of your points. They had 2 hours to do all of this collecting. And yeah, I mean, it was pretty crazy. It was pretty wild. Angela, who's been dominating all season, got stuck on this one puzzle for the whole time.
I didn't understand that. Like, I get that she wanted the tire with the highest point value, but like, in doing that, you wasted 2 hours not getting anything else.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like, why? I don't understand why that was your strategy. Everybody else was running circles around her, getting more and more things to build up their point values. And she was still like, you have to win the most important one.
I don't think Tyson helped her much, though. Tyson kept saying, like,
he's like, you can look at mine. But, like...
Yeah, well, he also was like, if you get this 20-point tire, oh, you're set. You're good. You're good. And I think that's part of the reason why she just stayed there. So there were a couple of moments I thought she might give up and try to move on to something else. But
it just didn't make sense.
Yeah. No, I agree. Everybody else, they kind of chose the route of, let me get these tires, these tokens that are maybe the second tier of points, but I'll just keep racking those up. And Angela just stayed there for almost 2 full hours trying to get this puzzle. I did not understand it. But
Angela made a lot of very questionable decisions this episode. I don't know what she was doing here.
After the season that she had, the finale was the worst episode for her by far.
Yes, Kyle.
What do you got?
Hi, I just again, I didn't watch the beginning of this episode. I have nothing to say on this. But there was this comment here from Edmund saying, Angela took forever and a day. Good karma. What? Like, what's the problem here? Like, why does everybody hate Angela? What's wrong with you all? I don't get it.
What's wrong with Angela?
Yeah, like karma for what? What did Angela do that was so karma needed?
Yeah. I am curious, Edmund, thank you for your comment. But if you could explain what you mean by karma, I am curious.
Yeah, we have heard a lot of like hot takes on Angela, but no really explanation on why. And I don't know what we may have missed.
Yeah. But so during this competition, during this daily challenge, one notable thing to point out was that Ben was injured. He at some point late in the competition, he fell and he hurt his shoulder. And that's important for, as we continue through the episode. But after 2 hours of collecting tires and tokens, the winners of this competition were, for the men, we had a tie. That was between Tyson and Dom. They each got 52 points. And Sarah took this competition for the women. She got 42 points. So I thought it was interesting. Sarah gets her 5,000. Tyson and Dom get their 5,000, but they have to split it, so they get 2,500 each. What did you think of like the no tiebreaker thing? Because I thought they could have put a tiebreaker in. Just the fact that Tyson got that pink tire that was worth 20 points. There were only 2 of those in there. Tyson got one, Angela got the other, even though Angela
didn't get the other.
Well. She did get it eventually.
She did get it.
Yeah, she ended up getting it eventually. It took about an hour and 45 minutes, but she finally got it.
I thought she didn't get it.
So like there was something that to me that I felt like they could have used that as a tiebreaker. Like you got the most valuable tire, maybe that's a tiebreaker of some sort. But I don't know. What did you think of that? As like they just have a tie for the men. There's no tiebreaker. Did you like that? Did you not like it? What do you think?
I mean, considering it was a women's elimination, it didn't really bother me. Like, if it was also a men's elimination, I think I would have been a little more salty about it, that you just, like, gave them both safety for whatever. But, I don't know, I didn't really feel either way about it because it didn't really affect anything. except just splitting the money.
Yeah, I think I agree that I would have been upset if it was a men's elimination, but I do believe that production just capitalized on an exciting thing. Yeah. They saw a moment here to have the final elimination have the very first 3 votes. I think they just had some fun with it.
Yeah, I mean, I would argue, even though it was a women's elimination, it did have an impact, the fact that Tyson and Dom tied. Because now you had 3 people voting for this elimination. And Tyson and Dom had very different ideas for who they wanted to go into elimination, for who they wanted to see go into elimination. And we'll just throw this up because Angela ended up being in last place, even though she did get that pink tire. So, you know, she didn't have enough points at the end of the day. But, you know, so she ended up losing, going straight to elimination.
Queen Ange.
And, yeah, right. So the three of the winners, all of them, Tyson, Dom, and Sarah, had to meet with Angela to figure out who is she going to go up against now, right? Angela kind of made it known she didn't want to go in against Alyssa, but she didn't really have much input other than that. She knew that her fate was in, you know, these 3 winners' hands. So she actually got up and just kind of left.
Yeah, she was like, she literally was like, it doesn't matter what I say, so I'm just gonna bye.
Yeah. And at that point, you know, Tyson kind of said Alyssa was a hard no for him to be chosen for elimination. Where Sarah said that Kayla was a hard no for her. And this is why I'm saying that the tie between Tyson and Dom was actually a big deal. Because now all of a sudden
it was.
Right. Now all of a sudden you have 3 people voting, so the majority takes it. If 2 people agree, it's going to be their person going in. And Dom made it known. He didn't really say who he wanted to go into elimination against Angela, but he just kind of made it known that he didn't really want Tyson to have all the say. He didn't want Tyson to influence his decision. So I did think that was interesting. It was, and it's funny to me that like this was the first time this happened in the very last Daily Challenge, the very last elimination. Because we didn't see this all season. You know, there was some kind of tiebreaker, some kind of like deciding factor that we just had 2 people as the winners all season until right now. I don't know. That was kind of weird to me. It definitely makes it interesting.
Yeah,
makes it interesting for sure.
I thought it was fun.
How did you feel about because we actually before we get into the elimination and who was chosen to go against Angela, we had a little appearance from Tyler, from Mr. Tyler. What do you think about that for Angela's birthday? Did you guys like seeing Tyler on the show? Did you not care? I didn't really care, but you know.
I think I was making a drink. I missed this, but I heard it. I was like, "Oh, is that Tyler?" I was like, "Oh," and then I missed it. So
I don't know what it is. I could not possibly care less about Tyler and Angela. I don't know why I feel that way, but and this happened like in All Stars on Big Brother too. Whenever we would talk about Angela, I was like, why? I don't care.
I don't care.
And I don't know why this is different because I love the Kiki shout out, but I could not care less about Tyler and Angela.
It's literally never going away.
Yeah. But anyway. So we got to the arena. It was time for elimination. And sure enough, Tyson voted for Kayla to go in, but both Dominic and Sarah chose Alyssa. So this was exciting to me. You know, I didn't necessarily want to see Alyssa and Angela go up against each other, but knowing that they were so close all season and working together all season, it was exciting for the final challenge of the season to come down between the 2 of them.
Yeah. Except that because I knew it was a pole wrestle, like it was just like, wow.
Right, and that's what I had even tweeted. Like, any elimination I feel this way about, but specifically a pole wrestle, if I have to go against Angela, I am self-eliminating. I am not going to embarrass myself by even bothering.
No, how dare you? My integrity means far more to me.
I said, fine, call me a quitter.
Yeah,
fine.
I don't care. That's fine. I will not allow you to disgrace me.
Absolutely not. I got my ass kicked on TV.
Yeah.
Not gonna happen.
Absolutely.
This did feel like, because I love pole wrestle. I mean, and we've seen, when you think about like past challenges, like the legend that Wes is in a competition like this, and like some of the great battles we've seen, it did feel a little hollow. This iteration.
Do you think it was on purpose because they wanted to push Angela through, so they made sure like, oh shit, like, and we can't deny the fact that Angela's in, right? We can't protect her. So
well, and I was wondering like this as opposed to like Big Brother, where they say that like no matter what happens along the way, the competitions are set, and this happens on this day, and this happens on this day. Like, did they choose a pole wrestle after they found out that Angela was going in, or was it just always going to be a pole wrestle?
Right, and you really never know because like there's really nothing to set up but a rope and like toss a pole in there. You know, like it could be anything, and that's what I sometimes do wonder about. You know, production's influence on things like that.
Because even like there are so many times where like you see somebody that's like, I can do anything, but I'm terrible at puzzles, and the elimination comes out, and it's like, we're gonna do a puzzle,
and we're gonna do 3 of them because this season is crazy.
Yeah,
it's like.
And actually, speaking of that, I actually meant to bring this up earlier, but Angela finally met her match this season after dominating all season. The slide puzzle is what got her.
Yeah.
So I guess that's Angela's weakness is the puzzles. I don't remember if she like performed well in puzzles on Big Brother on her season of Big Brother.
I don't remember.
I don't remember at all. No.
But
the only puzzle I remember was Caitlyn, and we know how that turned out. So
yeah.
Yikes.
But who do you think? So of all the people still in there, I think Sarah is probably the only person that could have beaten Angela in this elimination. What do you guys think? Like, is there anyone else between of all the women? Because obviously Alyssa, you know, it could not beat her.
Alyssa was everyone was like,
Alyssa was eliminated. Yeah. This felt like a real waste of a pole wrestle. But is there anyone else in there? So I mean, there was Kayla, there was Justine, there was Desi, and there was Sarah. Besides Alyssa, do you think? I think Sarah is probably the only person that could have beaten Angela in this.
I think she would have given her a run for her money, but I don't know about beating. Like, Angela's a beast.
Angela is a beast, but I do feel like Sarah's got a bit of fire in her. And I don't really know Sarah, but I don't know. She's kind of fiery.
I feel like she could get a little scrappy, you know?
Yeah. I don't know. I wouldn't count her out. I think that'd be a really great show.
I'm saying she's the only one that at the very least would give her a run for her money. I don't know if I for sure would say she would win, but like I think it would be the fairest fight.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good. Totally agree.
Yeah. By the way, I have to pull up this comment right here because it's very nice.
I was trying to write back, but good. Good. Yeah. Please bring it up. No, it's better that way. Go ahead.
This is a new friend here. YouTube is my therapy.
Hi,
says,
new friend.
hello.
Hello, new friend.
Hello. 3 things. Gina's so beautiful.
Thank you.
Right. Gina's getting a lot of compliments.
I love that for me.
Well deserved. Well-deserved compliments.
I love that for me.
Yeah. Kyle has a dreamy background, which I agree with.
Thank
My
you.
goodness, it's fantastic.
He's very cozy.
And I could listen to John talk all day. He's so funny. Wow. I do not think of myself that way. I actually think of myself as very annoying.
Actually,
leave it to John to disagree with his compliment.
But I appreciate it.
I've been finding you funny.
I very much appreciate it. Thank you. Very nice of you. Very nice of you.
Thanks so much.
Nice. Thank you.
Thanks for hanging.
But anyway, Angela beats Alyssa 2-0 in the elimination. So
boring.
Real quick.
Very
Boring.
quick. Very quick.
Boring. What a terrible way to go out.
It
She
was
thinks
very
she's so
boring.
she thinks she's so cunning. You know, like Miss Alyssa. Bye-bye.
I was not upset at all. I was like, fine, go, whatever.
Yeah.
I did not like Alyssa this season.
Yeah, she's been annoying me all season.
I can't say I liked her in Big Brother 23 either, though. Like, I didn't dislike her. I was just like, whatever. Like, she's just always a whatever. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Total.
But see, I didn't dislike her on Big Brother. I disliked her on the challenge.
Damn.
Yeah.
You heard it here first. Lady Morgino not having it.
Not having it.
Not having it. Literally none of it. Yo, can we get into this final? Because this final was, it was so wild to me.
I have so many things
Yes,
to say.
yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Yes,
I can't wait.
So,
I can't wait. This is so crazy.
So let's get into it.
Let's.
The final. We had so after this elimination, Angela wins, sends Alyssa home. So our sides were set. For the men, we had Danny, Tyson, Dominic, Enzo, and Ben. For the women, we had Angela, Sarah, Desi, Justine, and Kayla. That's our final 10. Those are our pairs going into the final. And yeah, this was I was very excited for this because I actually read beforehand that they were going back to like a much more grueling type of final. I feel like we've seen some sort of like weak finals on recent seasons of the challenge where we felt like right
total snoozers. Yep.
But I was very excited for this. We did get some bad news right at the start, and I saw this coming.
You called it.
You did.
Yeah. Ben saying his shoulder is throbbing, but he's going to go get it checked out, and it's just like any other injury, football or the Marines or this or that, and he's just going to fight through it. But I had a feeling. Yeah,
you did.
I had a feeling, and TJ said right off the bat, "Sorry, Ben, you are not medically cleared to compete in this final." What a bummer. And this meant. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, got finished. And then
No. You go ahead.
I was gonna say this is one of my 3 qualms of the evening with BB Twitter, with the challenge Twitter. My first was this moment. I saw so many people tweeting, being Ben quit. Oh my god, I have no respect for Ben. I can't believe Ben quit. Y'all, Ben did not quit. Ben was medically unfit to be cleared to compete. He was forced to be removed. He did not quit because he didn't want to compete. He was fully ready to compete. Why are you losing respect for Ben because he was medically unfit to compete in this competition? What do you mean?
Yeah. Especially with all the quitters that we saw.
People were so mad. Oh my god, I have no respect for Ben. They should never ask him back on this again. I can't believe it.
Really? It was that bad, huh?
That's wild. It's wild. And it makes no sense because we saw Ben. He showed up. He was ready to compete.
Right.
He was literally told you are not allowed to do this.
Yes, and he was devastated about it.
Yeah. That's weird. That's very weird to me that people would complain about
Challenge Twitter and I had a number of fights tonight.
Yeah, actually, do you want to talk about that a little bit too? Because I was called a baby.
I mean, we'll get there. Let's talk about it when we get there.
Yeah.
Okay.
John's big man.
Yeah.
You want to talk about that? Let's talk about it. Oh, yo, jeez.
Listen, I was told that I was a baby tonight, and I do not appreciate that.
Oh, we will get there.
Yeah, but anyway, so we showed up in the mountains of Patagonia for this final, quite serene. Ben was DQ'd, and the algorithm. We saw the return of the algorithm.
Mm-hmm.
Were you guys happy about the algorithm coming back?
This algorithm.
Whatever.
For me. I don't know. I don't know about this algorithm. How could it be that if it's really random and it's just spinning, how is it that you never get doubles? Like nothing. I don't know. There's no. I don't know.
At the very least. In this situation, like in the first one, when it was just like blinking like screens or whatever, it's like, all right, somebody is just picking the names that they want to see. At least for this one, they had that crank where it was just like wherever it turned and he stopped spinning, like you would get the pairing. So like there's a little more validity of like
but
this
do you
one
think
actually.
So? I mean, there was never a moment where like, Justine showed up twice. There was no reason to do a re-roll. Like it didn't. I don't know.
That we saw.
I know, but I don't know. I know, but I don't know.
No,
I didn't buy it. I still thought it was.
I don't know. Either way, I don't really like it.
No. Just admit that you're putting people together because that's what you want.
Uh-huh.
Like, just do it. Like, who cares? I don't think it doesn't take away at all. Fun is fun.
I also was so annoyed about it because like because now it's uneven. Every challenge has one woman that has to do it by herself. Like, come on, there's no other way that you could have like finagled this to make it like,
right.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, what I didn't like about it too, and we'll talk about it more as we move to this final, but what I didn't like is that there were clearly legs of this final that were easier to compete in alone than others.
Yeah.
And I just feel like it was like total luck of the draw. Like if you were in the first leg by yourself, which was swimming, all you had to do is swim by yourself. You know what I mean? Like,
right. Yeah. I don't disagree.
And then like even the food challenge one. Kayla was alone.
Right.
All she had to do was eat an onion.
Yeah.
Like, you know, but, all right, I'm jumping ahead though. So, okay. So Ben went home. We had the algorithm deciding partners, but like you said, Gina, every leg of the final had one woman competing by herself. And our first pairs of the final were Danny and Kayla, Dominic and Angela, Tyson and Justine, Enzo and Desi, and then Sarah alone, which I think gives Sarah an advantage too, because then she knows that for the rest of the final, after this first leg, she's always going to have a partner.
Mm-hmm.
She's gotten her solo leg
and like
out of the way already.
We've seen in the past that like even if you're in first in the beginning, you could tire yourself out and be in last by the end. So being at a disadvantage in the beginning is probably the best scenario, because that means that you're set up for the later parts that are going to be harder on everybody.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you this though, Sarah's probably real glad she wasn't paired up with Enzo for the first leg.
Yes, can we please get to this? I have been waiting for this. I could not believe what I was looking at.
Couldn't you though? Like, couldn't you?
No. I did not listen. I definitely thought that he would suck it up. Definitely going to stink up the joint, right?
Oh,
I did not imagine a quit.
This was so predictable. Screaming, crying, I can't breathe, I'm drowning. A, you're in a life jacket, you're fine. B, Desi is like, Enzo, let me help you, and he's ignoring her. Help, not even giving her the time of day.
Wait, not only did he ignore her, but she was trying to help him, and he went, "Don't touch me, leave me alone."
Wow. If I competed this entire season and got eliminated in the first 5 minutes of the final because stupid Enzo didn't want to even attempt to swim in a life jacket across this lake, I would have annihilated him. There would be no more Enzo. Yeah. Like, what the fuck is that? Yeah.
My heart really broke for her in this.
I was livid. Oh God, they did her so dirty. That was so unfair.
Yeah.
Especially because and we'll get into it because, the later challenges, whatever happened. But she was on Survivor. She's, a tough cookie. She absolutely could have taken some of those later challenges, maybe better than the people who were there. And she didn't even get the option to try.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I totally agree. And, you guys know, I took a real shining to Desi this season. Desi fan. Yeah. I felt very bad that she was eliminated in this way. Because of Enzo quitting. I actually think it was James from this season of the Challenge USA who tweeted out and said, why couldn't they have let Desi continue and paired her up with Sarah, who was alone for the first leg? Yeah. Would you guys have been okay with something like that, right?
Absolutely.
Where now, somebody quit with literally within the first 5 minutes of this final. Just let the two women pair up that are left alone now.
I think it was such a
Desi didn't quit.
I think it was such a garbage rule that when you were paired up, if your partner quits, you also quit. I think that's awful. I don't know who came up with that rule. I think it's awful.
The only scenario in which I like this is if how we were talking at one point, what does this global championship look like, right? And if it's actually people who, it's not just the winners, if we're also mixing in people who were in the final, if you get a situation where they are playing this game together again with this history, I do like that. It just kind of builds in a storyline. I like stuff like that. I mean, that's kind of, it does feel like the challenge to build situations like that for future enjoyment. Yeah. This is how we get the beginning of a Rivals season. It's things like this that give us, If
Enzo is back on another season, I'm not watching it. I'm not doing it. I've had enough of this man. I cannot do it.
Gina will be quitting. our coverage challenge.
You know,
if she
you
is
already
ever
know,
subjected to the meow meow
I
again.
have had feelings since day one about Enzo, and this happened, and I said, I fucking told you! I told you! I can't stand this man.
Wow. You are
Oh, God.
on one tonight. You are on one tonight.
I was so angry.
Edmund is going off in the comments about Angela.
I know, but I don't know why. So, okay, Edmund, I'm going to pull up this comment
off.
Here. Yeah, look how she, meaning Angela, did Sarah at the soccer stadium with Alyssa the follower. But, I mean, let's be honest. Alyssa and Angela in that moment were not just competing with Sarah. Sarah might have been the main target for them, but they were competing against this Fab Five. You know what I mean?
Yes, they were. They were outnumbered. They were outnumbered. They were.
These were two sides that were competing against each other. Nobody was doing anybody dirty here. This was Sarah going after Angela and Alyssa with the help of the Fab Five, and Angela and Alyssa responding. That's all that this was. I don't think Angela did anything wrong in this soccer stadium challenge.
She played the game. She played the game as it was intended. If you weren't supposed to block, don't give us the option to block.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. When we play to win. We come from Big Brother.
Right. And this comment, she is so shady. I don't know why Angela is considered shady here. For doing, I mean, she was very. I feel like Angela and Alyssa were very open.
Yeah, I feel like Angela's what they were pretty straightforward.
Yeah, like we're blocking Sarah. I don't think there was anything shady about it.
Sometimes to her detriment.
Right.
Yeah. They were clearly opponents in this competition. It was one or the other. It was either going to be Sarah going in or Angela. And you know what? You know, Angela and Alyssa got it done.
Yo, Edmund is big man.
I don't know what this means.
I'm sorry. Are you Survivor?
Correct.
Is that why you're coming at us all hot?
I don't know. Who's we? Who is we?
Right, and that's what I'm saying. Are you Survivor?
Yeah. But anyway.
We'll wait for Edmund. We'll wait.
All right.
We'll go
I'm
ahead.
ready.
Edmund's big man.
So after the first leg of the final, Danny and Kayla came in first place. Sarah, good on her, came in second all alone. She was on her own. She came in second. Great job, Sarah. Tyson and Justine came in third. Angela and Dom in fourth. I think it's important just to point out here, because Danny won the first leg of this final. I think it's really important that we do a quick Kiki shout out.
Kyle, how are you never ready?
I'm never ready. I'm like, what are we gonna do?
Yeah, I tried to make it very subtle. So this is the first this is the first photo I chose for Kiki tonight. Looking fantastic in this green dress.
Kiki.
My goodness.
Hey, Kiki.
We did actually get, by the way, a segment in this episode of Danny talking to Kiki and their adorable daughter,
God,
Zoe.
So freaking cute.
Who was dancing. She had the
sudden
moves.
We're McRae family podcast.
Fantastic. I love this. They look like a beautiful family.
Oh, yeah.
It was really, really nice. I live for Danny's Kiki shout out.
I also love that the chat.
Stop.
I love that
What's
the
that?
challenge Twitter was like Kiki shout out count. During the whole episode, like every time the Kiki got a shout out, they were doing a tally.
Unbelievable.
Oh man. Okay. Edmund commented, but I don't know what this means either. Yes, they did. Yes, they did what? Who did what? I don't know. I think it's just more.
You are in the affirmative.
Yeah. But anyway. Okay, so we get the second leg. The algorithm chooses our new pairs. We get Danny and Angela, my two winner picks. Tyson and Sarah, Dominic and Justine, and Kayla is alone for this one. This had two different stages in this leg of the final. The first was the food challenge, which was like onion, some lemon juice, or something, and some garlic. I think. What did you think of this food challenge?
Dying. I laughed so hard right from the get. You heard Angela. Is this vegan? I was like, oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
She was like living her best life. Like, yeah, I'm just going to eat this onion. That's fine. I do this every day. Whatever.
Yeah. I enjoyed Dominic.
To reduce the acidity. I'm like
Do it
this
quick with onion.
bitch.
Yeah.
I love her.
I enjoy.
Like, come on,
I enjoy
Angela's
Dominic.
plant-based kitchen.
Right? I really enjoy Dominic being like, Angela's over there slicing this onion and pouring lemon juice on it. Just pick it up with your hands and eat it.
I thought it was great.
Very funny.
I thought it was great.
Yeah, it was very funny. Man. Hold on. We got another comment here from Kyler Stern. I just want to point out that the last 2 men to be eliminated couldn't swim for shit either.
No.
I don't know what this means either, because the only person that we've shit on for not being able to swim is Enzo. So is this a commentary that we're not?
If I had to guess what this means, it's like, Enzo, what the hell? They couldn't do it either, and they still did it. But maybe I just don't like Enzo.
But the last 2 men to be eliminated couldn't swim. Who were the last 2 men eliminated? Dominic and Tyson? I thought they did fine with the swimming, right?
Unless they're talking about pre-final?
Pre-final?
I don't know.
Right, I don't know. And that's way too far back for me to even think.
Yeah. Got another comment here from Nikki. Says
Hi,
Danny
Nikki.
was killing it. Yeah, I'm not sure if he saved his energy for the final.
Either way, it didn't matter. Danny was like full steam ahead this whole final.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was really impressed with Danny.
Oh, he
Danny
was so
performed
good.
Very well. Yeah.
Really impressed.
But so in the food challenge here, what did you guys think of this food challenge, though? Because even just on the Challenge All-Stars 3, the last challenge that we had, that food challenge was wild. There were bugs and guts and all sorts of weird crap in there.
Oh.
It was, I don't know.
I was like, what happened? What happened? I couldn't remember.
Not that I could necessarily just eat a whole raw onion by myself, but like people were throwing up all over the place in this, and I was like, this is an onion and lemon juice.
Well, what was it, Kayla, that was like, I ate maggot cheese, and I would rather do that than do this right now.
Part of me kind of gets that, though, honestly. Like, I can't even imagine just eating a whole raw onion. I mean, that's got to be, like, really rough. I feel like I would throw up, too.
I am like a toddler. I eat around the onions on my food normally. I can't imagine eating an entire onion the size of my head.
I do like some onions. But I don't think I could just chomp on one like an apple. You know? Lemon juice or no.
Yeah.
And it was a big one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It was a big onion. Oh yeah.
Gross. Yeah, I'd be throwing up too.
And we saw after this, as people started to finish, I think so. It was this whole leg of the challenge. I think Danny and Angela finished first. I don't really have the rest of the standings, but the second stage, as people continued to finish, was they had to now run. They had to look for these barrels, and there were numbers. They had these equations, so you had to look for your corresponding color for your team, and then complete the equation as you moved along on this leg. Dominic was farting and burping a whole lot. I wasn't sure if it was like a soundtrack. They were like,
Justine was like, "Please help me. I'm not having fun."
Really, really gross. Yeah, really gross.
Right?
I'm not having fun.
Yeah. And Danny and Angela won this leg. Sarah and Tyson came in second. Justine and Dom came in third, and Kayla came in last place. So yeah, that was that. I have to tell you, Gina, Edmund here, our friend Edmund, agrees with you. Thank you, Gina. Alyssa was phony. What do you think about that? Was she a phony this season, Alyssa?
I don't recall what I said to prompt the comment, but I did not like Alyssa this season. So sure, we're in agreement.
There you go. Alyssa was a phony.
I don't know what it was. Like, there was just something about her that she seemed more entitled than she was. Like on Big Brother, I feel like at least was trying. On this season, she was almost like, no, like I deserve this, and I deserve this as like revenge on what happened to me in Big Brother. And it's like,
yeah, it's the revenge part for me. I don't get it.
I wasn't on board with her.
All you did was lose. Like, you lost. You know,
right?
This was not a personal slight. You just didn't win.
Like bratty.
She seemed super. Yeah, she seemed super bitter and just like, yeah, like it was just weird. It was just weird. I did not enjoy Alyssa on this season at all. She made it very far though.
She did.
we have another comment here from Kyler. Let's see this.
Hi,
They needed
Kyler.
Cinco, Kyland, X to make it deep in the show. Leo, David, Enzo was just terrible. Dom did surprisingly well until he quit, which we haven't gotten to yet. But
I was
I don't
bummed
know.
to have seen them go so soon.
Yeah.
I couldn't.
I mean, I liked.
Look at that. I couldn't believe all that.
Yeah.
I've never seen
Especially
anything like that
X.
in my life.
Yeah. Interesting. All right, so we'll move on now to the third leg of the final. And our algorithm this time gave us these pairs: Dom and Kayla, Angela and Tyson, Sarah and Danny, and Justine, all by her lonesome. This was a leg of the final that included a lot of running, and then they had to complete a word puzzle. Tyson and Angela got first place for this one. So they were back in action, the dynamic duo. They were first paired up in the first challenge of the season, and then decided they were just going to dominate this whole game until the end. And I don't think either of them saw the ending that they got. But they got first place for this leg of the final anyway. Danny and Sarah got second, Kayla and Dom got third, and Justine timed out. But it's important to note that at least Justine, while she timed out, did participate.
Yes. And this was one of them, like to your point earlier, like this was one of them that I think was just harder to do by herself. Like she had no shot of beating any of these duos on this one.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Okay, so now that brings us to our fourth leg, which was the overnight portion of this.
Let's get into it, man.
So the algorithm for the fourth portion here of the final gave us Danny and Justine, Tyson and Kayla, Dom and Sarah, and Angela by herself. They basically just had to clear like a very large dirt pile right around this pole. Was there anything else to this portion? I feel like I was writing things and I was also tweeting at this point, so I missed.
That was it. And then it was while your partner is digging, the other person could rest. But that was all there really was to it.
Okay.
And it is also worth noting that because of that, Angela's pile was half as big as everybody else's.
It was half as big. You see, that's something that I missed. That's something that I missed.
Yeah, it was,
which
it
makes
was smaller.
Yeah, which actually makes it worse that she sat out. Angela chose not to participate in this. She just felt like, okay, I can just go sleep and I'll just take last place. But that is essentially quitting, isn't it?
And here we arrive at my second qualm of the night with the challenge Twitter.
Qualm.
Angela said the words, "I quit." And then she went into the tent and went night-night. And everybody,
say that, yeah.
Everybody was very upset and thought that it was so unfair that for making a strategic decision, Angela got disqualified. And I don't understand why people think that is unfair. She chose not to compete in this section of the competition. If you quit, you are out. Those were the rules. She can't just decide, I'm not going to do this one. I'm going to go take a nap instead. That's not how it works. If you don't participate, you quit and you forfeit. It's not like what happened with Justine in the previous one where she tried and just happened to be in last. So they were like, all right, forget it. Let's move on because you're last anyway. She didn't get timed out. None of that happened. She didn't make an attempt. She like shoveled 2 shovels full and was like, I've had enough. I'm going to go to bed. That's quitting.
Yeah. She could have just as easily, half-assed this and just continued to work through the night like everybody else. And conserved energy, knowing that she wasn't going to win. Just go super slow, take little piles of dirt, but just keep doing it.
Again, her pile was half as big as everyone else's, so it's not like she had to do 2 people's work by herself overnight. She had the same amount as everybody else.
Yeah,
she just didn't get to do it in increments. But whatever, that's the game.
Yeah, this was probably, especially considering the season that Angela had, this was probably the most disappointing end to a season for a challenge competitor that I've seen.
I was so shocked that of all people, Angela, the strongest competitor I've maybe ever seen, was like, I'm going to opt out of this one.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Yeah. What a disappointment. Honestly, it was such a disappointment. I thought this was so weak by Angela. Like everybody else is up, everyone else is up. They're all just participating. You know you're not going to win. That's fine, but just keep doing it. You know, because then the other thing is too, like you're going to have to be paired up with somebody else tomorrow. I feel like people would not be happy being paired up with you, knowing that you just quit on the leg of this final the night before. You know what I mean? Like, who are you? Who are you to just be able to sleep through this while we all work hard?
Even still, like, I feel like for a good chunk of this season, I've been like watching the girls just shit on Angela, and I'm like, damn, they're just like constantly like Angela can do no right by these people. Everything she does, everyone complains, and everyone's mad. And this is the one time that I think they were totally justified in being pissed at her, because like, yeah, we're all doing it. Why do you think that you get to not do it? And then you'll be fine. And even like in her little I keep calling them DRs. I don't know what the real name is. But like in that little thing after she got disqualified, even Angela was like, it's not fair. I just tried to make a move that would better my game, and I guess that gets me disqualified. And she was so like salty about it. But girl, you quit. You said the words, I quit.
Yeah, she did. She did say that. She really did say that too. I just want to say hello to our friend Jason here real quick. He says, "What up?"
Hi, Jason.
He also says, "Gina, looking gorgeous tonight."
Thank you. This is
All
the
the
me
Gina
show now.
All the Gina.
This is my podcast. Thank you.
Yeah.
And, I would like to hear. Sorry, go ahead. Is there another comment?
No. What were you gonna say?
I would like to hear from Kyle, because he was making a lot of faces during what we were just talking about, and I feel as though he is about to be the contrarian, and I am very curious as to his opinion.
I am too. I do just want to really briefly point this out. So Erin Donahue says, I can't see how she didn't think that wouldn't be quitting about Angela. And here we have Edmund responding to Erin saying, she's entitled. That's why. Oh my. Okay, I'm sorry. Kyle, please share your thoughts with us. You're making a lot of entertaining faces. I'm very interested to hear what you have to say.
I don't have anything entertaining to say at all. Well, watching this, I thought it was a great plan. I was like, good for you. Play the long game. Get yourself some sleep. Work the advantage of being alone. Fuck it. Yeah, whatever. But then when they said, like, listen, that's really not fair because of X, Y, and Z, said, oh, all right. Well, you know what? You're right. You're right. So I do agree. I really don't disagree.
Yeah.
I just at first I thought it was smart. Yeah, get your Z's. No one else can do that, but you can because you're alone. Never dawned on me that it also means that then like you're just not doing it.
Right.
Well,
like you're just literally you're just not participating, and that's not okay.
I don't think you're crazy to feel that way though, Kyle. Like the whole like this is a good strategy thing, because my initial thought was this might be a good strategy too, because I feel like in past challenge seasons, this would have been the type of thing that you might get like a penalty for, but not necessarily would have been disqualified for. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like the fact that we both
agree with that, you would have just gotten like maybe like a minus
an extra 5 minutes on, or minus a few
something
points
like that. Yeah,
right. Like a time penalty, points penalty. And I feel like it's interesting to me that you had that thought, because that was the initial thought that I had. It wasn't really until TJ woke them up and started being like, Angela, what happened? That I was like, oh, fuck, she's about to be eliminated.
But
I was like, what do you mean what happened? I played the hell out of this game.
But even still, like, there was already a precedent set, because, like, Enzo technically opted out of swimming and they got cut. So, like, if you just opt out of a piece of the final, that's quitting. Like, that was, you know, the stipulation that was already kind of happening.
Yes.
And I think
also,
it would be different if, like, I would feel differently if Angela was like, I'm going to go to sleep and then I'll wake up super early, and after I've gotten some rest, I'll continue working on this, and then maybe I'll be last, but like I'll finish it after I've gotten like a couple of hours of sleep. That would have made me feel different. It's the fact that she just like did a couple of shovels and was like, you know what? Y'all have fun. I'm going to bed. I've had enough.
Yeah.
And just tapped out, you know?
Well, Gina, I'll tell you that Erin Donahue completely agrees with you. She says the rest of the season she earned her place, but she gave up in that leg. And I agree with that also. She gave up, and I'm disappointed. I'm very disappointed in Angela. I am. But I did not initially think that she would be disqualified, which I think it probably is wrong on my part because they did say if you quit, you're out, your partner's out. But I don't know. It felt.
Well, thank you for validating me on that. I definitely thought that my opinion was going to be too contrarian. And I was
I honestly, I was getting ready to like get annoyed at the challenge because there was a period where I was like, are they really not going to disqualify her for this? And like, I was getting annoyed. I was getting annoyed thinking they weren't going to and being like, no, she deserves to be, but I feel like you're not gonna, you know?
No, I understand both sides because I can understand why Angela was eliminated because of this. But I also feel like we've seen in past challenges where it's like, oh, you have to do this. If you don't complete it, you're going to get penalized, so it's going to make it that much harder for you to win. And I feel like we've seen both of these scenarios now where been like,
we have.
Right. So it's kind of, it's interesting to me that like Kyle and I had the same thought of being like, oh, this could be a good strategy move by Angela to conserve her energy on this leg that she's by herself. But I also understand why she wasn't allowed to continue. I do understand both sides.
Yeah, no, and I agree with it. She should have been eliminated. She should have.
Yeah.
That's not what the challenge is about. Bang bang.
Yeah.
Sorry, Queen. Sorry, Queen. Dethroned.
But so this was our overnight portion. Angela was eliminated. TJ woke them up very, very early in the morning with rain pouring down. And we got to our last leg of the final. There was no algorithm for this. TJ told us this was now an individual competition.
Good.
I was very glad about this. And their mission for this last leg of the final was to run 10 miles to the top of this mountain. There would be checkpoints along the way. There would be puzzles. Sudoku was one of them. They had all sorts of different puzzles and different things, checkpoints and all that along the way as they climbed their way up the mountain. And we saw a lot of people quit on this last leg.
Yeah.
This I think was probably unprecedented on a challenge. This many people quitting.
I would say so.
In a final. During this one leg, we saw Dominic quit. And this was all during the Sudoku puzzle. As they got further up the mountain, things got colder. They got some rain, then some hail, then some snow, and it got very, very cold.
And it is worth noting, real quick, by this point, Danny was already long gone. He had done the Sudoku, and he was like, peace out, Cub Scout. And he was way far ahead before any quitting had ever happened.
Yeah.
I'll come back to that, but
he
just worth putting out there.
Well, he had the motivation of, Kiki behind him. So thank you, Kiki. But anyway, so Dominic, Justine, and Tyson all quit basically at the same time. And I wrote down, weak. Kayla also quit right after that, pretty much.
It's so rude.
Weak.
It's so rude.
What did you think of this, though?
Oh, man.
Like all these people dropping out. What did you think of this?
I couldn't believe it.
It was wild.
My jaw hit the floor. I'm telling you. I've never seen so many people walk. Like, I've literally never.
Maybe like one. This was like 5.
Yeah. No, sometimes you got to walk out. Sure. And I'd be one of them. But, like, I've never seen everyone.
Right. Because, I mean, listen, this was a big final.
Crazy.
There were 10 people in this final.
Mm-hmm.
There were 10 people in this final. We saw Ben eliminated immediately because of his shoulder injury. Enzo quit, which meant that Desi was out. So in the first leg, 3 of the 10 were already out.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Now we see Dom, Justine, and Tyson all quit out. Now we have 6 out of 10 already out. Kayla then quits. 7 out of 10 are out. Who am I missing? Angela eliminated overnight because she wouldn't compete. So we basically had our winners by default. I do feel like Danny earned his win.
Absolutely.
And this is
jumping ahead. But so challenge USA champions and Danny and Sarah Yeah, Danny and Sarah are the champions.
And now
because
we get
they were the
to-
only ones that finished. They were the only ones that finished.
We get to my third and final qualm with Challenge
Qualm.
Twitter, which John also has the same qualm with Challenge Twitter. We got shredded tonight because the Sarah stans got pissed because we said whether the men quit or not, Danny was winning that final. He was so far ahead, he busted his ass, he earned his spot. Sarah, yes, crossed the finish line, but she was just the only woman left. She won by default. I'm sorry. Yes, she didn't quit. Correct. That's great. She still won by default. Desi wasn't allowed to compete. She didn't quit. All of the other women quit.
Yeah, Desi.
Sorry. I'm not crying about it. I'm not crying about it. I'm not upset about it. I'm not livid and like gonna cry myself to sleep tonight because Sarah won the challenge. So calm down. But let's call a spade a spade.
Facts.
Like,
Yeah.
Sorry, not
No,
sorry.
it's totally true.
Yeah.
Danny and Sarah were the champions, but they were also the only people to finish. I'm very interested to see what this would have been like if Desi and Angela had still been in it. And you know, for Angela, it's her own fault. You know, you can't. You know, Angela was my winner pick for the women, but she was a disappointment in this final. She didn't get it done. She quit.
She was.
That sucks. But you know,
but
I do feel like part of her quitting was like based in strategy. It was a dumb move on her part, absolutely. But I'm very interested to see what this last leg of the final would have looked like if Desi and Angela and Sarah
again,
were also
Desi
in
is from Survivor, so it's not like she's not used to competing against the elements. I think she would have done fairly well. And that doesn't necessarily mean she would have done great because some of the people who quit were also from Survivor. But I don't know.
Yeah. We have a comment here from Jason.
Yeah, we have a competing opinion.
Uh-oh.
Regarding Sarah. So Jason says Sarah won because she earned it. They bullied her all season, and she won. She won because she's not a quitter. She had the strongest mind out of all of them, in my opinion. I don't see how Sarah was bullied at any point in the season. I agree with Jason that she wasn't a quitter because we saw Sarah in a very tough spot. She was definitely down. But she continued. So good on her.
Right. And I have to give her credit for that, 100%.
But I don't understand the bullied part. I don't think Sarah was ever bullied.
If anything, like,
Edmund agrees. Edmund agrees.
Sarah spent the whole season. Sarah spent the whole season obsessed with Angela and Alyssa. Obsessed to the point where she was like, I don't even see why people say that Angela is a strong competitor. She's done nothing to earn that. And I don't know why people just hand her that title because she's done nothing to prove that she's a strong competitor. She's won like every competition. I don't know where Sarah got it in her head that Angela's not a strong competitor, but she was obsessed with trying to tear Angela down the entire season.
Right. I also disagree with Jason's comment here. He says, what do you mean? Angela, Alyssa, and a lot of the girls were blocking her board at the stadium competition. LOL.
Because that was the game. That was the game.
That's also not true, though, because Angela and Alyssa were the only people blocking Sarah. The rest of the girls in the house at that point were all in the Fab Five.
Part of the game was to block your competition. That's the game. They were playing the game.
She was on the outside of the Fab Five, and Sarah,
who's that?
Was very clearly
Angela and Alyssa were.
Yeah, they were on the outside of the Fab Five, and Sarah was very clearly the ringleader of said Fab Five. So why would you not play the game to block the head of the snake?
That's how the game was designed. You block people.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Sarah was very clearly coming for Angela and Alyssa. Angela and Alyssa chose to go after Sarah because they were being targeted by her, and Sarah was the head of the Fab Five. So that's the thing. There were only 7 girls still in the game at the point of the soccer stadium competition. 5 of them were in the Fab Five, along with Sarah. Yeah. And Angela and Alyssa were the only people not in that group. So a lot of the girls, the only girls blocking Sarah were Angela and Alyssa. I don't understand how Sarah was being bullied. Jason says here, he responds to us. He says the Fab Five didn't even help her on that challenge, but you're right. I forgot about the Fab Five. The Fab Five didn't help Sarah because why would they? They're trying to win the competition themselves.
Right.
Yeah. and maybe it's because Sarah was whining the whole time, saying they're trying to block me. They're trying to block me.
They were like,
I'm
"That's
sorry.
your problem."
Yeah, who cares? It's a game. It's a game for $500,000.
I'm just trying to win. Yeah, that's your problem.
Yeah. And then Jason responds here, Angela and Alyssa had most guys on their side. Well, that's good gameplay on Angela and Alyssa's part.
Right. That was because they strategized to get the alliance together.
I don't see at any point that Sarah was bullied in this season. There was one competition that Angela and Alyssa went after Sarah because they were being targeted by Sarah and the Fab Five. That does not mean that Sarah was ever bullied, ever. Sorry, I cannot agree with you, Jason. I appreciate you tuning in every night and commenting, but Sarah was most certainly not bullied.
Jason also just likes to burn our biscuits. And
There's always one point of the night.
Yeah, no, he likes it. He likes it. He just likes it's just like he's an agitator. You know? Yeah. I welcome it.
But I don't know. I appreciate Jason burning our biscuits and grinding our gears.
Yeah,
Jason,
I like the sparring.
We do enjoy you. Yeah, we do enjoy you. So where are we at here? Where are we at? Oh, Jason says I'm a contrarian top.
Yikes!
All right. So where are we at here now? So we said Danny and Sarah won, right? So we're at the end of the final here.
Mm-hmm.
So that means we're going to get more Kiki in the global championship.
And now, correct me if I'm wrong, but that does mean it's just the two of them, right? The other finalists are not going, right? That's what he said.
That's what it sounds like. I just feel like
sounds like it's just the champions.
Because that's what I thought at first, and then you guys talked me out of it.
No, I know that's what they kept saying.
Yeah.
It just didn't seem right to me. So there's only 4 of these. So what? Only the top 2. We get 8. Unless John's speculation of some of our challengers, from our OG seasons from MTV, maybe they're coming in.
Well, I have to tell you, my feeling about this is even more bolstered now.
See,
because
Jason with this shit too. Here it comes.
We saw clips of like CT in this. You know what I mean? Like,
did we?
And the fact that we in different promos and stuff, we saw CT. But we never saw him on the season, and the season's over now, which makes me feel like we're gonna see CT in this global challenge.
My question too is like, is the global challenge just a final? Like, is it not like a full season? Is it literally just like, and now the 8 finalists run a final?
TBA.
Yeah, that's just strange to me though that they would they would do that.
Why wouldn't you just get a whole season out of it?
Yeah.
Exclusively on Paramount Plus. It's just one afternoon of stuff. I don't know. What a build-up.
I wouldn't mind like a shorter season. Like if we were to get 8 champions, 2 from the US, 2 from the UK, 2 from Australia, and 2 from Argentina, right? Those are the four countries that we're getting these from, right? If we were to get 8 competitors from that, and then another 8 from like our challenge veterans like CT and Bananas and Laurel, if she comes back. I would love Laurel to come back. Something like that. And it was
I only want one person going home a week though. That I don't want to be racing. We send 2 home. But I don't ever want less episodes of the challenge. Like, what are you talking about? I wouldn't mind a shorter season. What are you talking about?
I mean, as long as it's entertaining and it's good, and I wouldn't mind it. Especially because they could pull from some of the international, we've had War of the Worlds, we've had different seasons of the challenge where we had people from different countries. If they wanted to incorporate that, and we only had something like 16 competitors on sort of like a sped up season. Because I mean, think about it, we're getting a lot of the challenge this year. We've already had Challenge All Stars 3,
and I consider ourselves blessed.
Right. Oh, absolutely. But we've already had Challenge All Stars 3 this year. We've already had Challenge USA. We're going to get Challenge UK, Australia, Argentina. We're going to have Challenge the Global Championships. If the Global
38.
Championships is, if that's and 38, if we're going to get, this Global Championship where it's sort of like a truncated, sped up season, but like the best of the best, I wouldn't necessarily mind that if we have a smaller cast for that. But I don't know. It's interesting. I do have to take issue with this comment by Jason. Angela was so stuck up. I knew she was going to lose. LOL. Why was Angela stuck up? What did she do that was stuck up this season?
John will not have it.
Yeah, I'm not having
slander
this.
of
What did
his
she?
woman.
Not on his
What?
podcast.
I am just curious. I'm just curious. What is the reason for people thinking Angela was stuck up?
Shit.
She
I do like
dominated
what
all
Edmund-
season.
I do like what Edmund said, though. As we wait
Yeah.
for Jason's sassy ass response, we like what Edmund said here. You know,
Edmund says, wasn't CT representing another country last time he was on the challenge? CT is my boy.
there was a time. Yeah, you know, I don't know if that was the last time. I think we've seen him since then. But wasn't there a War of the Worlds when he ended up on like Team UK and was like playing on that side?
Oh, you know what? Yes, that's
Yeah,
true.
I don't think that was the
That's
last
true.
time we saw
That-
him.
No,
Yeah,
he just
the
won the
last-
one with Casey.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That wasn't
So,
the last time we saw him, but
Yeah,
this
but-
is true. He did choose.
That
to,
did happen. That did happen.
Yeah.
But
Edmund
yes,
is
he-
correct in that.
Yes, but he does take no prisoners.
Yeah.
And Jason's back, so go ahead.
Yeah, we got to follow up with Jason's comment here, bro. Did you watch all of her little smart-ass comments towards Sarah? LOL. But I mean, Sarah had a lot of smart-ass comments towards Angela. So it was just a rivalry all season.
Hashtag stop protecting Sarah.
Yeah, Angela. Jason also said Angela thought she was better than everyone. I don't think that's true. I mean, and honestly, even if she did think she was better than everybody, she was. She had 30.
I was about to say, actually,
Yeah.
she did think she was better than
Yeah.
everybody else, but she deserves to.
But she
because,
was. She went into the final. She went into the final with over $33,000 in her bank.
Up until she wasn't, she was. And can't you
And, like,
just say
again,
that
not
about
for nothing.
anything in the world? Like, you can say
Like,
that
not for
anything.
nothing. Like, John, I'm so sorry. I understand where people take issue with Angela's personality. I get that. She rubs people the wrong way. I understand that.
Oh,
you
yeah, no,
cannot
she's not
take away
America's
that she's
favorite.
right.
She's not
You
America's
cannot take
favorite.
away that she is like one of the most outrageous competitors that's been on the challenge. Like,
Right. I mean,
Mhm.
she.
Wait, hold on. Well, go ahead.
No, go
Just
ahead.
don't want Erin's comment to go by. We have to come back to that. That's all.
Okay.
It brings us off topic. I just don't want it to get lost. That's all. Go ahead.
I just, the thing is, I feel like with Angela this season, like she was totally dominant. She ran the game for the
she
most
did.
part.
Yeah.
In the very last, competition, daily challenge, she chose the wrong puzzle, and she stuck with it. And like we admitted,
lot of questionable decisions this episode.
yeah, we admitted in the beginning of this stream that this was her worst episode.
Yeah, she had a tough end.
Yeah, but her game up until this episode was totally flawless, and any beef that she had, if she was sounding stuck up, I mean, especially if the only thing that Jason has to say about that is that she was stuck up towards Sarah. Sarah and Angela had a rivalry the entire game. Of course, they're going to go at it and say bad things about each other. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
and,
it's also that the Angela haters were just waiting for this moment. They were waiting for her to misstep so they can just jump all over it. And you get to have this because she
Sure.
does deserve it. But what we're not going to have is like a non-acknowledgement of her right to be cocky, confident, and smart-assy for the rest of the season. Okay, because she did play a very dominant game, whether you like her or not. Okay, like
Yeah.
come on now.
Yeah. And then Jason's comment here, she threw all those wins out the window when she quit. It's not how you start, it's how you finish.
You
And I
guys
agree
couldn't
with
wait
that.
to say it. You guys couldn't wait to say it. You had it saved in your notes app. Like.
But I do agree with that. I agree with that.
I don't
I'm
disagree. I don't disagree because it's not wrong.
Yeah, it's not wrong. But I do disagree with anything where saying she was any kind of bully or a smartass or somehow was like condescending to Sarah. But we had to watch it. We had to watch it entire. No, she is. But like we had to watch an entire episode of Sarah stopping her feet that she was getting blocked. They're blocking me. They're blocking me. Like, are you kidding me? It's a game for $500,000. Yeah, people are gonna block you. You're coming after other people. They're gonna come after you. Screw you. Like, who cares? Like, but I agree. I agree that Angela was a quitter, and I'm very disappointed in it. She was my winner pick. She was my winner pick for the women.
Wasn't Danny your male winner pick though?
Yes, I will say Danny was my male winner pick.
You got
So
one.
I was one.
You got one.
Yeah. So I will say I was correct 2 out of 2 on the challenge. Challenge All Stars 3. I was 1 for 2. So my last 4 winner picks, I'm 3 for 4.
This is why Monty can't win Big
I'll take
Brother.
Right. Well, I will say for the Challenge USA, I have set a record. I set a record. Yeah, as far as preseason picks. I got 0 out of 3. Okay.
I still don't know why Gina wants me to fail so much in BB24. I mean, like,
because she's failed so much before you. That's why.
What's that?
No, we need to keep you humble.
Yeah,
I am humble. I'm just trying to.
No, it's more that she has not succeeded, so she doesn't want your record to be further out ahead. That's what it really is.
Oh, gosh.
I just want to really quick go back to Erin's question here. Okay, Erin says, I had never heard of the challenge before this season, which is streaming only previously. This hurts my heart. It hurts my heart. The challenge started in like the 90s. Okay, it started as like the real world road rules challenge and has evolved into just amazing fifth sport. But this is an MTV show. This has been on for a very long time. I have been watching forever. I am the reason. What's that now?
It is the first CBS challenge. So
it is the first. It is the first version of the CBS one. But you know, the MTV version is getting ready to start its 38th season, and that is not counting. I think it was like 3 spin-offs of Champs versus Stars. Okay, so we do have a long storied history, much of which can be found on Paramount Plus. We have no sponsorship. If we want it, come to us. Come to us. That's it. Ding, ding, ding. Yeah, I just want to make sure people know that the challenge is a really big deal. It's a big deal.
Yeah. I also have to say, this is another comment from Jason. Bro, she kept putting Enzo up. I think it was about Angela. And to that, I have to say, who cares? Why would I care about that? Like, why would I care about that? But anyway, that's all I have to say about that. That was to me was funny. Why would I care that Angela is putting Enzo up?
Gosh.
Gina, I have to, your microphone is getting a little fuzzy. I just have to tell you.
Oh no. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah, it has been
Bully targeting the weak. Again, who cares?
But yes, Enzo. Jason, it has been around that long. Hold on. It has been around that long, man. It's been a really long time for the challenge, okay? Challenge is not brand new. Get with it. Get with it.
Oh my God.
What else did I used to love Real World also, actually. I can't watch it now. I find it to be very boring.
I never got into that.
No. All seasons on Paramount Plus. There's a lot of seasons on Paramount Plus. The challenge got weird. Though. Yeah, there's some stuff on Hulu
that are just missing.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. You can't find all of them, but a good chunk of them.
Yeah.
Especially all the new school seasons, the ones that really like still have some relevance today. Those are there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do agree with this comment from Erin, by the way. She says, I think Dom was right when he said that Danny was playing the middle of the road and really dug deep to pull out the win. Yeah, that's really possible. I certainly had that thought. That maybe he was kind of playing the long game on this one. And that kind of makes me a little impressed with him because I always felt like he didn't really have that kind of like a strategic mind in that way.
Yeah.
So.
See, I had a feeling that Danny would perform well on this. And this is why I chose him as my winner pick, because Survivor is such a different game in the fact that you are just out. You're just out in the wilderness, having to survive, very little food, different competitions that you have to face, whether you're, maybe you don't have a flint this week, so you can't make fire. Right. Maybe 1 week you win and your whole camp gets a feast or gets a tarp to be out of the rain, but this type of challenge where you're living in a house, you have all your meals there ready for you. I feel like Danny he's a former NFL player. He's a world-class athlete. which is why I felt like he would do well on this challenge, and that's why I picked him as my winner. So I'm happy to see that he pulled it out. But,
kudos to Danny. Good job. Yeah. I'm looking forward to you representing this country in the global championship.
Yeah. Well, we now have to see Sarah also.
Great.
2 survivors, though. 2 survivors.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
2 survivors. Pull it out.
And would you look at Kayla really sticking it out to the end there? Little engine that could.
Tyson quit before Kayla did.
Yeah.
Tyson.
Let it be known.
Tyson,
Kayla,
who we thought was
amazing
unstoppable
racer.
at one point. Yeah. Yeah, that's so true. I'm glad that you brought that up. There were only 3 amazing racers on this whole season.
And one of them,
Kayla, I mean, when you think about it, Kayla came in 3rd, really, right?
Yeah.
Because Danny and Sarah won. Everyone else quit or was disqualified in some way, but Kayla was the last one to quit. So in my book, Kayla came in 3rd.
Okay. All right. Now hold on. Part of the reason why she was one of the last to quit is because she was one of the last to arrive at the Onion fiasco. So it's not necessarily.
Well, the Onion fiasco was in a different leg of this.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. The Onion leg was
all right.
The Onion leg was much earlier on.
All right. Well, one big blur to me.
That was the second one, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, now hold on. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
But Edmund asks, Danny, was once in the NFL. Word on the street he was with the Cowboys. Is that true? Yes. Danny was a member of the Dallas Cowboys in the NFL. Yes, that is correct.
Yeah.
Jason wants to know why we dislike Sarah so much. He says he missed the first few episodes. Did she do something bad? She was just very whiny and sounded very entitled. She was like, the soccer stadium thing, I think, to me is the biggest one. Because she went in there being like... Awesome. Yeah, she went in there being like, we're going to target Angela and we're going to target Alyssa. And then Sarah ended up being targeted. And for the entire competition, she was just yelling, they're blocking me. They're blocking me. It's like, this is the game. They knew that you were going to block them going in. So they decided to block you. And you just had to complain and whine about it.
I wasn't necessarily bothered by her at the beginning of the season. She just got more, as Kyle said, irksome as the season progressed. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, she really did. I didn't have strong. I was actually kind of excited about her going into this, and I think you can kind of clock the preseason chatter we did. I was like, oh wow, I can't see what this woman does because she won Survivor twice, didn't she? Like
something like that.
Who's Sarah?
Yeah, like I think
she had
Sarah's like
some like crazy stat. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, like somebody won Survivor twice on this season.
That might have been Dom.
I don't know
too,
if she
though.
won twice.
I think Dom might have won twice. There was something about Sarah that like stuck out.
Sarah did. She was voted the winner. She was the winner of the 34th season of Survivor. But she came in 11th place and was the first jury member in the show's 28th season. So she came in 11th place once and won once. From what I'm seeing here.
Oh, okay.
I think Dom was the one that won twice.
Oh, was Dom?
Dom, really? I would have guessed like Tyson was the 2-time winner. If I had to guess, but I mean,
hold on. Also, is my mic so bad?
Yeah,
it's a little fuzzy and weird. I don't know what's happening to you.
But like, it was time to go 9 nights.
This is true.
Yeah.
I just want to look up real quick. By the way, did you know that Dominic is from Wisconsin, New York?
No, I did not know that.
He's our neighbor.
All right.
Dominic.
No, nobody won twice.
Yeah, I don't think that's
true. I thought someone did.
But anyway.
I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy.
Yeah, I think we're wrong. Dom, I believe, came in second. That's even surprising to me.
Yeah. I have to take issue with Jason's comment here real quick. He says, oh no, well, he says Sarah is a badass, which, I mean, you can agree or disagree with. She's now a challenge champion. But he also says, was she more entitled than Angela? I still don't see how Angela was entitled. We all agree she made a bad move in the final by quitting. But Angela was winning daily challenges all season. She had 33 grand in her bank and only saw an elimination in the final episode of the season. She was running the game. I don't see how she was entitled in anything. She earned her way through the season.
Erin went to high school with Tom. So sorry.
Oh, there we go. Dom is a fellow Long Islander. There you go.
Wow. What a fun fact.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Sharon, we have another new friend here. Sharon Simmons. Dom never won. He came in second place. And Erin agrees with this. Dom came in second.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah, I failed to see, though, where Jason sees Angela as more entitled than Sarah. No, I just don't understand this. We literally had to watch an episode where Sarah was stomping her feet and yelling at everybody, "They're blocking me! They're blocking me!" But somehow, like, Jason feels that Angela was more entitled than Sarah, even though Angela was winning her way through the season, and Sarah was screaming that people were blocking her. I feel like you can't get more entitled than that. But anyway, that's all I have. You guys have anything else on this? We've been going for an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah, I'm tired.
Yeah. We've had a lot of people watching us tonight. Thank you guys so much.
Yes.
We've had a lot of people commenting. It's been very, very, very fun. Thank you to all of our friends, our old friends, our new friends.
Sarah was a bully.
Sharon here, Simmons, says Sarah was a bully. I'm more inclined to believe with this.
Yeah, this is a nice way to go out. That's what we have on that. Wait, we're going to do Challenge Australia. Tell them about it.
Yes. Let's talk about what's going on next. So tomorrow night, we're going to be covering the latest eviction of BB24. So we're in the final 5. Tomorrow night, we'll be getting down to our final 4. Currently, Monty's the HOH. Brittany is the veto winner. So it's either Taylor or Alyssa going home, and that'll bring us down to our final 4. So that is that's what we'll be covering tomorrow night. Monday night, we'll be covering the new week of BB24 that we'll be starting with our final 4. Wednesday night. Oh, are we doing anything Wednesday night? The Challenge USA is over. We won't be back Monday. Yeah, we won't be back next Wednesday, will we?
We're going to be doing the Challenge Australia. Watch with us.
But we don't know when that starts yet, right?
No, we don't know when it starts yet. But just, be watching and stuff. Pay attention.
Yeah, so
we're coming back. We're going to do it. Yeah,
we'll be around. We just probably won't be podcasting on Wednesday night next week. But Monday night, we'll be talking about BB24. Thursday night, we'll be talking about BB24 also, the latest eviction. Jason asks, how about Big Brother Wednesday? I don't know if you guys are thinking about that, but oh my God, there's a lot of people saying stuff about Big Brother in the comments now. Jason saying, how about Big Brother on Wednesday?
I don't know. Survivor does start Wednesday. I still want to watch it.
Oh, that's right. September 21st, a new season of Survivor starts. That's right. Edmund says, yo,
we're going to chat.
They are,
we don't know.
We don't know yet. Edmund says, yo, they're off the chain. Did you see the Monty Taylor smash?
Yes.
Sharon here says, yes, BB Wednesday. Sharon wants us to talk about BB on Wednesday. I don't know.
Boy.
We may have to see.
We
may have to see what happens here. Okay. But anyway, we'll be back next week. We'll definitely be back next week, Monday night, 9:30 p.m., right? We'll definitely be back Thursday, 10:30 p.m. We'll see what we do on Wednesday. But yeah, this has been an episode covering the finale of the Challenge USA. It's been a lot of fun. If you want to find us on the socials, you can find us.
No.
If you want to find us on the socials, you can find us on Twitter or on Instagram at StratChatPod. You can also check out our website, www.stratchatpod.com. We'll be back with you very soon. Kyle is dying. We love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in with us tonight.
Good night. Yeah,
we got to get out of here. It's late.
This is good.
Goodbye.
Good night all. Yeah.